girls and boys. Welcome back. This is the week of March 15th through the 19th, and this is day 1. Let's review all the items you're going to need, and then we'll get started. We made it to the 4th 9 weeks of the school year, and you should have all received your home learning packets, and I 3-hole punched them, if you noticed that. They should all fit nicely in a 3-ring binder. And I want to talk about that just for a moment before we get started. The front page explains how the 9 weeks works. Then we have A through Z collage pages. Today we're going to do letters A and B. And then after that section, we have letter tracing from A to Z. We're going to be working on letters A and B today. And then next we have number tracing. We're not going to be using these today, but we will other days, so make sure you keep those handy. And this is fun. We're going to be using, I'll show you how to make the die today. 1 die, 2 dice. So if you're not used to that word, we're going to be making a die today and using this worksheet. And I also shared an extra plastic sleeve so that we can use our dry erase marker, erase, and then use it again the next week. Because some of our worksheets we use more than 1 week. So those are all the items that you should have for your 3-ring binder. So today we're going to be using our nameplate like we always do. So make sure you have your nameplate. And with the nameplate, we always have our dry erase marker. So make sure you have that handy. Like I said, the 2 sheets we're going to use today from our collage worksheets, letters A and B. So make sure you have those available. We're going to be using crayons. The colors we'll be using red, yellow, green, and brown. So you have 4 colors: red, yellow, green, brown. For the second worksheet, it's B is for beads. If you have beads, they're going to be kind of hard to see. I'm going to be gluing some beads on. If you don't have beads at home, we did share some in some of the packets. If you don't have a little bead, then we can just draw a bead with your crayons. So we'll be using those. And here is our fun die. They're perforated or little, it's kind of like a dot, dot, dot with cuts, and you're able to turn those over. And you're going to need a parent probably to help you. And you can turn them all together until it actually forms a 6-sided cube. And when you're through, it'll look like this. So we can roll it and talk about numbers. We have numbers 1 through 6 on the die. And if you have a die at home that you really like, or more than one, you have dice at home, you're welcome to use those. I just didn't know if everyone would have them, so I sent home one just for you. So be careful with it because it can get smashed up and then it'll be hard to use. So here you go. This is your little die. So make sure you have that. I'm going to be using some glue as well. It depends whether you have a bead, whether you're going to need glue or not. So I think that takes care of everything. And I know that's a lot. It's going to get easier and easier as we go along. This is the first day with our new materials, so it might seem a little overwhelming today, and I'm sorry about that. But like I said, it will get much, much easier. First thing we're going to do is get our nameplate out. And you're welcome to use the front side that has your name, or you may use the blank side and do it from scratch and from your memory and see if you know how to write your name. So let's get started. Get your dry erase marker out and trace your name. I always say, take your time, do your best work. And when you're through, hold it up for me to see. How does yours look? Ah, I'm thoroughly impressed. I like how you're coming along with things. Now, we have gone over all the letters of the alphabet this far in the school year. And now what we're doing is going to hit each letter one more time. So let's review our letters before we get started on our collage book. I'll hold up a card and you will say the name of the letter. Let's go. Q. T. Say them louder. M. I. A. E. S. J. B. C. P. X. All of you knew that one. K. Z. D. H. Y. G. F. L. U. V. R. N. O. W. And that was it. So let's pull out our A sheet. It has lots and lots of dots on it. And this says A is for apples. What we're going to do with this sheet is use our crayons and we're going to color apples. So we're going to turn the dots into apples. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. See, this is what it looks like finished. And I'll do it along with you. It shouldn't take us too much time. Apples come in 3 colors. Do you know what colors? Green. Red is the most common one when you think of an apple. And also there are yellow apples. So I'm going to start coloring some green circles. And like I said, we're going to turn them into apples. Then we'll put a stem on top with our brown crayon. So I'll just skip around coloring some green dots. And we will change them. Here's a good word for you. Transform. Can you say that? Transform. We will transform the dots into apples. I think you're going to like how it works. We just have to add a little stem, and before you know it, it starts looking like an apple. You have to use your imagination on our collage book. A collage is just a collection, and we're going to do different things for every letter. Sometimes we'll be cutting things up and gluing things down, and other times we'll just be using crayons. Today for the A, it's just our crayons. If you're slower than me at coloring, believe me, I've had a lot of practice over the years. You can take your time and put the video on pause, and that way you won't get behind. Just put it on pause. Now I'm going to color some of these dots, or apples, right? Yellow. So just jump around and color some yellow. You don't have to color the same dots yellow as me. Just color in some. And if you love red apples and you want all of your apples to be red, you can do that too. I have to tell you my favorite right now, I change what apples I like. I like a really nice yellow apple right now. I think it's a good time of year to have apples that are yellow. I very rarely buy a green apple, but I do like a green apple in a salad. That's kind of how I am with apples. It depends what I'm eating, what flavor I like. Okay, the last color of the apple, we have red. See, by the time we're through, we're going to have a bunch of apples. Then I'm going to challenge you to actually count these apples. So you get the idea. Go ahead and keep coloring, coloring, coloring. Now I'm going to show you the sheet that's almost finished. And here we have apples already made on this side. And this is how you make the apple. You just put a little stem. Just your brown just needs a tiny bit to make the stem. And if you use your imagination, that definitely looks like a bunch of apples to me. Just a little stem on top. And see? We're all through now. How do yours look? Let's count all the apples on the capital A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 apples. How do you like those apples? Now the next letter, B, is for beads. Some of you may have beads at home that go through a string and you turn into a bracelet. Some might have fancy beads that are sticky on the back and they're just for decorating. And you can use those, like I said, or if you wanted to just use a crayon, you could do that as well. I have a few that I'm going to just glue on. And so I have glue. Your glue may be a different kind than mine, and that's fine. I just put a little bit of glue down, and then I'm going to put the bead on. And then you're going to put it back in your 3-ring binder. Once it gets all dry, and by the end of the year, we'll have the whole collage book finished, and you'll have A through Z. I'm going to ask somebody, how many letters are there in the alphabet? We talk about that a lot at school. Let's see if I can hear anybody. See if anybody's in the room here. Anybody in the room? You know who's in the room here with me? Miss Kayla. Miss Kayla, I'm going to... hold on just a second. Let's hear what she says.
26.
26 letters in the alphabet. Yep. Miss Kayla knew that before she even came to my class, but she's a very good student. Here you go. I put 3 new dots down that are actually beads, and they're so pretty because I use different colors. And Miss Bucky, she had some really nice beads too, made this fancy. So, like I said, however you would like to make your beads is fine. And here's an example of making a bead with a crayon if you don't have beads at home. You could just make a little circle. And that to me looks like a bead. And you can make another circle here. Or just a different shape with an opening in the center. But beads usually have a little opening. So those are kind of neat. So we did the A collage page and the B collage page. I like how you're coming along with that already. We will be doing that whenever we get together. Now for our A, B tracing, those are the letters that we're focusing on today. Let's get these 2 letters out. It's this section that looks like this. It says A through Z, trace and write pages. Get out letter A and letter B. Put them in plastic sleeves. That might take you a minute. Go ahead and do that. And together we're going to trace our letters. we're going to do the top row of A's and the bottom row here of A's. One is capital, and this is lowercase, uppercase, lowercase. And then the other lines here, they're for you to write on your own. So we go back and forth and across. A, slant left, slant right, and then straight across. Slant left, slant right, and then straight across. Let's see if you can do that. This is really good practice. I like these pages because they give you so many letters to write. And right below we have the lowercase a. Go around and then a line to the right. A. Lots of words begin with A. Alligator, alphabet, ant. I bet you can think of some too. And then when you write your own A's, you can just do it on the line here. Again, slant to the left, slant to the right, and then across. Left, right, and then across the middle. And then you do the same right here with the small or little case, lowercase a. What's neat on this page too is you get to practice writing 3-letter words, and some of them are longer, like apple's longer. Let's just practice today on writing this 3-letter word, ant. A-N-T. Ant. Now we're ready for the next worksheet, which is B. It might take you a minute to switch them out if you don't have lots of plastic pages, but I have several at school, so I'm ready to get started. Let's go ahead and work on our B. Here we have the capital B, straight line down, and 2 humps, straight line down, bump, bump. See if you can do that. If you go slower than me, that's absolutely fine. You can put the video on pause and take your time. Go straight down, hump to the middle line, and again. You just bump it out, bump, 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 bump. Go all the way across, and on the next line we have the lowercase straight line down just like we did before, but you only have the little bump on the bottom between the middle line and the bottom line. And that is how you practice making the lowercase b. Let's see if we have a 3-letter word on the bottom. Do you see a 3-letter word? This has 1, 2, 3 letters. Bear has 1, 2, 3, 4 letters. What's this a picture of? A bed. B-E-D. Let's practice writing. B. Here's how we make an E. And then around. And the other direction, see how B and D are just like a mirror image? B, you have the bump to the right, and D, you have the bump to the left. Nice work. The last sheet I wanted to show you is how you can roll twice and add. This might be new for some of you. So let's turn to the next side, and this might be a little bit easier to do. This side right here says roll a die 10 times. All you're going to do is roll it once, and then you write the number that comes up. So here we have the die. What comes up on yours might be different than what comes up on mine. It's whatever's on the very top that you're looking at. The top of mine has 2 dots. Look at this. 1, 2. So I'm going to draw a picture of this, 2. And then I'm going to write the number 2. Do you remember how to write the number 2? Does yours look like that? Let's try it again. We'll do 3 of them here. Oh, just a 1. 1 dot. So I'm going to draw a picture right here. And the number 1 looks like this. It's a straight line down. That's what you should be writing. You might actually be rolling different numbers than me, and have a parent help you so that you can write the correct number. Let's count mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to draw a picture of what I saw. I had 3 dots on this side and 3 dots on this side, and together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is how you write the number 6. And you just keep going the whole way, and you'll go all the way to 10. And that's a great way to practice your numbers. And these worksheets you can use all summer long too. You don't have to just stop because it's the end of the school year. Here I have a book I really want to read with you. And we're studying rain. And this is a funny book. It's about rain coming down and how people react to the rain. Here we have the front cover. The rain came down. Here we have the title page. The Rain Came Down by David Shannon. On Saturday morning, the rain came down. It made the chickens squawk. The cat yowled at the chickens, and the dog barked at the cat. And still, the rain came down. The man yelled at the dog and woke up the baby. "Stop all that yelling," shouted the man's wife. The dog barked louder, and still, the rain came down. "Hurry up or I'll miss my plane," she told the taxi driver. So he started honking his horn. The truck driver in the front got mad and started honking back. "I have tomatoes to deliver," he shouted. The ice cream man heard the honking and turned up the music on his van. Jingle-a-jingle went his music. Slappity-slap went his windshield wipers. And still, the rain came down. The policeman walked back to his car. "What is all this ruckus about?" he asked. "The whole block is honking, yelling, bickering, and barking." And then the rain stopped. And so did the noise. The sun came out, and the air smelled fresh and sweet. Everything shimmered, and a rainbow stretched across the rooftops. The policeman said, "Everything's looking A-OK here to me," and he drove off in his car. And the woman in the taxi decided she had to have her hair done before her trip. She went into the beauty parlor. So the lady with the boxes got into the taxi and went home. And the truck driver told the grocer, "I have your tomatoes." And the little girl and boy helped him. So they bought them ice cream. Then the man, his wife, and the baby had a picnic together. And they all had a good afternoon. I love the story about rain because rain can kind of make us act a little silly. We're running around and getting loud. And then when the sun comes out and it all clears up, it makes us feel nice, kind of the way spring does. It was great spending time with you boys and girls, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Take care.